Let's welcome Izuchukwu Oboko, a legal practitioner. Good morning, and it's always refreshing to have you on the Newspaper Review.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to join you on the review. Good morning to the viewers.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us. I'd like to take you up on something that has been trending over the week, and with a new report now saying that senators' monthly pay hit 2 billion naira, and a particular senator coming out now to say that each senator gets 21 million naira per month as running costs. This is coming from Kawu Sumaila. What was your reaction when you saw this headline?
My reaction is that that amount is still expensive, really. Running costs, say over 20 million naira running. What are they running, really? The complex has been built. They are not paying rent. Yes, they have staff that I don't know, maybe the staff they use are on the payroll of the government, the Legislative House of Assembly, what they call them now, like the kind of civil service. So even at that, I'm not sure they pay energy bills. Not sure they pay energy bills individually. So if the office is already there, and then I don't think office supplies should be responsible for 21 million naira running cost. That's aside other monies they get as constituency project, their salary and all kinds of allowances that they get. Initial reaction was that even at 21 million naira running cost, it is still expensive.
Right. Now, according to this senator, he's representing Kano South, and he further broke it down that even the 1 million naira that was disclosed by the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission drops to around 600,000 naira after deductions, but it's the other allowances that make it 21 million naira. And he also claimed that each of the 109 senators in the upper chamber receive a total of 1.06. Now, we have been getting calls from different angles asking for this current administration to cut down on the cost of governance and to also, run a lean government in order to help us manage and probably get some money, save more. But with all the updates we've been seeing, it doesn't seem as though we're doing that part. What exactly do you think can be done in this regard? And in regards to this conversation around salaries or what have you, we recall that former President Obasanjo, also came out to say these people fix their salaries. Bring us up to speed as a legal practitioner. In whose jurisdiction is it to fix the salaries and the other allowances that these senators receive?
The Revenue Mobilization and Fiscal Commission has the responsibility by law to do that. And if the legislators are not satisfied with what it is now, if they are really interested in having the salary reduced, they don't need any legislation or any policy of government to do that. They can individually agree, right, while policy is being put in place. Now, I always believe that if we employ people to do a job, right, because it's assumed that we, the people, through the process of election, select those who will serve us. That's assuming that, election is not rigged. That's all things being equal. I believe that we should give those we employ the necessary materials and resources they need to succeed in office, right? But the current political class have been known to display so much affluence in office. Now, they may be talking about their salary. What of their cars? It seems as if it is, correct me if I'm wrong, is it every year now or every election cycle, they get to get cars worth over hundreds of millions. Car park was fixed for how many billion, how many months ago, right? So it's not just only salary we should be looking at. I think that first and foremost, the first place to start is the leaders have to be honest about wanting to cut down costs. If they agree to be honest and to display integrity in it. They know how to cut costs. They know areas in which they can cut costs, right? They know all the areas. In Lagos, at TBS, there is an annex of the legislative office. You see the kind of exotic cars parked down, and they may never be used in an entire year, for years, of the same standard that the Senate President or any of the senators could use, parked down in Lagos. And I want to believe in other annexes of the National Assembly, they also have similar cars. They have staff on ground who are also maintaining some of these things. These are things I don't understand why, if you are making let's say an official visit to Lagos, there are car hire services that you can pay to do that. You don't have to buy cars worth hundreds of millions, not one, not two, not three, and then they are packed down. And we know that for things like cars, if they are not in frequent use, they get to spoil over time, and they end up selling it for a cheaper price to themselves. So it's not just the salary. There are other areas by which they can cut costs. And first and foremost, they need to start by having the will to do so. In having the will to do so, they have to be honest first with themselves, and next with the people of Nigeria. I saw a headline saying that the president claiming to have released over 500 billion naira to the governors is a presidential lie, because some governors are saying, at least two have said, they did not receive any of such grants. So does that look like honesty from even the office of the president, assuming it is true? So that's where we need to start from. Then when we are honest, they know where to cut down the cost. How much, was it 90 billion? I'm not so sure about the figure now, that was voted for car park. You ask yourself, the senators that were there in the last in the previous 4 years, what car park were they using? Is it not the same? So what changed?
Very
Want
important.
to build a new house for the vice president at how many billion? What changed? The vice president just left there. These are the kind of things we are talking about.
Renovations here and there we keep seeing. Thank you so much for that. But I would like to move your attention a little to a little bit controversial, but it sparked a lot of reactions yesterday. House of Reps withdraw bill seeking jail term for those refusing to recite the new national anthem. Yesterday, we got the update about how a Speaker of the House of Representatives, in person of Tajuddin Abbas, withdrew the controversial counter-subversion bill, which stipulated that any Nigerian who refuses to recite the new national anthem shall be fined 5 million naira or 10 years jail term, or both. And this sparked a lot of outrage, and the opposition showed the provision of this legislation, saying that it is draconian and anti-democratic. First off, when you heard the news about this punishment for those who refuse to recite the new national anthem, as a lawyer, how did you react to this? Is this some sort of infringement in any sort of way? Let's get your perspective first.
Oh, well, you said as a lawyer, the important thing is that it's a bill. So it's not a law yet. And thankfully he withdrew it, because for me, I saw that as very infuriating. I saw that as insensitive. This is coming a couple of days after the bad governance protest just ended. Now imagine a people who were placated to leave the streets, and now coming up with a bill that seeks, how does that contribute in the grand scheme of things in Nigeria? How does that help reduce the price of goods and services in the market? How does that help anything at all? That's what I thought to myself. It just goes to show how disconnected the political class are from the people. Bills should be focused on improving the lives of the people and the economy. Both national anthems are the property of Nigeria. No country can appropriate it. So if the citizen chooses that, okay, we have two national anthems, one has been passed, there shouldn't be a problem, because ultimately, whether it is this latest national anthem or the one before it, it all belongs to Nigerians. It all belongs to Nigeria. I don't think there should be any consequence for a Nigerian choosing one or the other. It came across as the speaker being insensitive of all things to do in this period, right? It goes to show that it appears bad governance is ingrained in almost every leader. Now, I know that there are some, very few, who are good, but it's neither here nor there. It adds nothing to improve the life of the average Nigerian. And to think that it is coming from somebody as high as the Speaker of the House of Representatives, it just goes to show that quality leadership is lacking a great deal.
All right, thank you very much. I'd like to move your attention to Punch newspaper, the major headline. It says, food crisis, military deploys troops in Northwest and North Central farms. Even the Farmers Association have lauded President Tinubu for this initiative, saying that this would probably tackle food insecurity, which was why End Bad Governance protest was had in the first place. So what are your hopes? What are your thoughts about this initiative? Do you think that this would actually tackle food insecurity once and for all?
Well, if troops have truly been deployed, it is left to be seen what they will achieve, really, because troops have been deployed, but anybody who is familiar with the North would know that the North has a very large expanse of land, very large. So the troops that are deployed are covering how many states? And along the farmlands are going to try to secure, maybe as a primary objective, is how many hectares? How many hectares of land? I think that ultimately we should be more focused on addressing the root cause of insecurity across the country. That would be mine. I mean, the president is not doing anything out of the ordinary. For me, he does not need any commendation, because when he took oath of office, it is his primary responsibility. So how do we commend somebody for doing what they should ordinarily do? All right. So it is maybe because of doing that job now, he shows initiative for creativity. We can commend the creativity on the job.
All right, sorry to come in here. Are we saying now that you made mention that we have vast land? So is it a thing of whether we do not have enough personnel, or we just don't have the right will, if I may say, to tackle insecurity?
Yes, thank you. The point I was going to make there is that, say the military provides security for the farmers during the day, what will happen during the night? It's even worse, because you've given the people assurances and they've committed, maybe some of them have taken loan, they've taken seeds, they've committed it to the ground. When it's almost harvest, terrorists come and they scatter everything. Where are you going to get the proceeds to repay the loan? It's already a big problem, which is why I said the real deal is focus on the source of the insecurity. While it is good that this temporary measure, because for how long are you going to continue to do that? All the people they deployed across several states, why can't they send those people to all those spots that these security issues are happening? And yes, there are other measures they can engage in. There are other measures they can take to ensure that insecurity is resolved. It's not only about deployment of troops and weapons. They need to do community engagement. They need to take other steps as well. They need to take a holistic approach, which is that honesty I'm talking about. It's good that VIPs have security and all that. I mean, you can't expect any less. But if the security personnel are not enough, like the IGP admitted towards the build-up to the End Bad Governance protest, and there are a lot of youths that want jobs. So what are we waiting for if the personnel are not enough? So my own will be address the root cause of the insecurity, and I will not be too quick to celebrate until I see the deployment yielding positive results, which should be maybe another 3 months. When it takes an average crop to, some 1 month if it's vegetables, some 2 months, some 3 months. So I won't be too quick to commend the president for doing what he has been elected in quotes, to do. I will not be too quick to commend him until I start seeing results.
That's an amazing place to learn. Thank you so much, Izuchukwu Oboko. We have to go. It's been a delight. Thank you for joining us and for sharing your thoughts with us on the show today.
It's always a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Enjoy the rest of your Thursday.